We're gonna talk about this in the first person, because that's the only person I can verify as someone who's gonna back my story up 110. That's God's honest truth. With the 10% fluctuation rate that I put in there, because I'm on a little bit of this wine. Red sauce like sweet turpentine off a huff of reddish Oprah-looking embodiment that will, if done in excess, meaning me drinking of it too much, have a tendency to sway some of my words, at least this or that, off, but only in a 10% kind of degree. We ain't there yet, but it's just a in case, because ain't nobody gonna call me no liar, especially when it comes to telling a talking piece of a chunk of this life that I done lived on and about myself. Without further ado, cheers and 10% to me and you, piece of shit. We'll get it going. Got time. Yep. Ready to get down here. Ready to get about down. Can't fuck back and do my shit. It really doesn't matter what anybody think. That's why it's my shit. Fuck anybody. Make that shit matter. Not like Hornito do. Come down to Hornito. That's what I say. Be do's and propers, and that will matter. That's the first taste of anything aside from that piece of cunt I had earlier in the morning. Ripe it was. Ripe. It perked me right up, but that wasn't good. Because ripe cunt, having that perk you up, well, that's not the wisest thing to do if you needing to go to bed. Because early in the morning was pretty late that night for me. I mean, we was dripping into about 5:30. I heard my neighbor, Roscoe, he started his 4-beller out there. Can't miss that. Diesel too. I don't know why Roscoe go through the trouble, but Roscoe do. So being that it's diesel, you gotta plug that banger in. Let her get the charge in there right. Kind of like a Tesla of 1972 pieces of shit. You gotta do that for about, 30, 45 minutes. I remember it reminded me of my friend, his dad, when I was growing up, named Davey. Used to do the same thing. And I found so perplexing that thinking back to Davey and the hour in the morning he used to do it, it was about the same hour in the morning. I was noticing it now, how I always do. That hour that I've been up all night. So it ain't even morning. It's just really, really late at night. And that's the only time I ever heard that purr or hum, as you could say, because it's an ungodly hour. Unless, brace yourself, unless that hum coming from her. You get a hummer. You know what I'm saying? How we do it in Texas. You got a mouthful like cowboy Peet. Except I got nutrients beyond the protein in meat. Can't lord down eat myself anyway. I have to go up and chop my own throat, cut it ear to ear if I did, because I don't take a liking to cannibals. I don't. Cannibals is I think it's a Liberian kind of a epidemic now, but sometimes in America we even had it. Not too far back either, and there was one, I believe, a folk down in Georgia. Now, actually Georgia. He'd have been eating for like 30 years, people. But for some reason I think that was a different Georgia, because I heard there was a big war there also with the Russians. And I've been down through there, Savannah, a little after. I didn't see nothing. No Torns or no Warrens, nothing. Just look like Georgia. Still got the peaches and everything you see. First thing they'd have got is the peaches. First thing, because come the victor, bring up the spoils. That's something you always do in war. Believe me, I was in Iraqi, down in OIF 3, OIF 4, 05 and 06. Back when it was some heat back there. It was fucking heat. Came down to the spoils. Well, we weren't quite victors yet, but hell no, you wouldn't be able to tell us that, because the spoils came with whatever we saw that looked like we could get away with. We was spoiling ourselves with it and take it. It'd be real easy too. Just give an Iraqi a glare when you pulling them over for no goddamn reason at all, except you gotta take a piss. So you just pull over the first person you see, say, "Hey, Sergeant, think that motherfucker look like an IED maker. Let's get him." Sergeant ain't gonna question you. Gonna get your team leader. Team one. Go up around that IED making Haji cocksucker up. We can't understand what Haji say anyway. The only interpretation back in them days, it was what we taught in class. We had to teach the shit to the people below us, which don't make no sense, because we're the lowest ones on the totem pole. So we was just teaching each other. Blind teaching blind and dumb talking dumb. That's God's honest truth. And the whole time we was supposed to be teaching Farsi. You believe that? It's fucking intellect shit. Hell if I fucking know. Whole time, chewing tobacco, playing video games, talking about what whore we were gonna violate and then run away from right after we said we're getting her a napkin. Because we put a spit shine on the back of that ass. Blind booty. That's it, though. That is it. Nah, man. Spoils is meant to be worn and torn. Coming back around the circle, because we went off and trailed about. We wouldn't know no Farsi. Arabic, suck my Arabic living at the time dick, shriveled up and sandy as it was back in them days, always thirsty and shit. Don't worry, I hydrated now, but thirsty then. Different me. Wasn't no need to procreate. Body knows that, just like in jail. It ain't the saltpeter, it's the fucking libido. No reason to get hyperactive when all it's doing, be hurting around a bunch of other hyperactive men. My libido don't want that, but believe me, there was a lot of other men. Hey, it was real hyperactive around me. I said, I'll do you, just as I'm about to get to what we was doing to them Hajis. So we pulled them over and upchucked that shotgun to the dome. I say, now here's where I'll do a pause and you can insert the name of anybody in my life that would fit one of these two criteria. Been said to me making an IED blow me up or my swells. That's one. Two, you one of them guys got an over hyperactive libido. Just me and you in the room. Any of those two things, upchuck my motherfucking shotgun. Pardon my French. That's more like pardon my old Negro slang. Pardon my 1920, 23, whenever he was generated. Slave. Yeah, pardon my 1923 slave. I believe that's what it would be. I'll give them credit for inventing the best combination of words I've ever heard. But combinations, few and far between, that would differ from the up and the chuck I do with the shotgun to the dome on insert that name here. It would always be the same end and result. Few exceptions, but we're not gonna get in those. Main, almost always result would be the hands go up. Like that. I say close your mouth on some of them because some of them, you never know when you're gonna let down your guard a bit just so they can bite. You want them to bite because they go right for where it counts. And then from what I hear, and I see it, I guess too, a lot of people, especially up around in California, where there's a lot of them roaming free, protected under laws and shit. Who knows? Some got tit, dick, everything. They all got mouth stone. They all can bite. Don't matter if the meth done took teeth. Always got one in there still poking away to bite. That sucks. Then it got you. Been taking down a lot of folks. Just saying. I say close it. And if Haji start talking, I still don't understand you, boy. We was playing video games when we was supposed to be learning your words. This is the shotgun. What you got? Now we ain't even gonna say that. He can't understand us either. This ain't like Mexicans in America acting like they don't understand English, but yet somehow run a fully fledged operation. Are responsible for new highways coming in. They're the ones back in business. Landscaping companies worth multi-millions. Tell me you can't speak a lick of shit. This ain't them. This is a real deal. It's like a tiger and a baby seal sitting there in the same room trying to discuss the little things in life that really should be discussed. Because if they can't come to some sort of a resolution on it, well, the disgust is going to come disgusting. And then the animal is going to take over. The beast is going to win. Guess who I am when I got that shotgun? Take a wild one. I drink this Hornito. Don't think you got jokes. I ain't no frog man. I was the tiger. That seal, he would have been arfing and wishing he was on Pier 39 down in the wharf. Probably would, because then I would have killed two birds with the same stone. Got faggots over there, just wait people to come and give him a handout. Looking gawk. Attention, getting seeking mothers. Shoot, nah, they had to come down to only the strong being the ones to survive. The people, if we can't get to talking, well, we gotta do something to survive, because I'm a little more logical than going straight to the final result, which is clicking that trigger, that shotgun, and watch it go boom. You hear that thunk thunk come out, that's the last thing you heard. You ain't even gonna hear them clunk clunk on the ground, or me reloading it, because you generally don't have to reload a double barrel that close to somebody's head after it concaves. You got a can of tomatoes everywhere in the opposite direction of me. That's what you gotta look at. If it looked like the whole can, or at least the 1/3 of the can on the ground, you're alright. For some reason you got less than a third though, you may need to want to cut that again, put another 2 in there and give it the go around. Can't have them suffer undue pain. That ain't proper. You need to familiarize yourself with the JFK magic bullet, not necessarily the bullet, just what happened to JFK's head. When it went back into the left, that skull up just cup off like the shotgun. Same motion, except it kept going. Secret Service agent Dean Rogers, he took a piece of that skull, not the bullet. So who's gonna be your can of tomatoes? Is what I'd be looking at him before. Rest of my team, which would be team 2, gets him up and throws that sander over his head, sandbag, put him in the dirt, spit on him, talk trash about how we're gonna violate his mother and his sisters. We do know that much in the language. We know that language good. We said that all night. That's good. Get on riled up, pee on him and stuff. We take turns sometimes. Sometimes we all just let loose, looking the other way, laughing. Anyway, so he's in there, checking that car for some ordnance making materials. Now, if it didn't matter what it was that we found, here's what's gonna happen to that car. I'm gonna tell you now. That car gonna be blown up. And a detonation proved all the way up the line by our company commander, because he got word we suspect there was IED making materials in there. And being that we got a mission, hopefully an end to that mission, sometime in the near future, which is chow. That would have been coming, come 3 square day, would have been coming soon, because this has already been eating about an hour of our day, just this bullshit. So for this mission to end, the car's gotta blow, and it always does. Blows good. The job well done. Dog diggity, I say. So I'd be heading off watching that plume dissipate in the air, and either Haji was a piece of that bloom, you could see him faded away off the pink that would have contrasted the black and the gray, which mixes with the sand dust and blows into the wind. Pink you can always kind of see a little bit if you're looking just right, and that's what it is. One who might have really been proven to have some ordinance, making some stuff, trying to kill. Ain't even no funeral for you. Nobody even remembered you because we didn't even know your name. Couldn't understand you. You was just another one of them. And we would have been just another team if we were lucky to have us, at the very minimum, car stereo. That didn't get blown, along with any other goods, keeps, and whatever. Would have been in there that looked like they worth a damn. Turns out they wasn't. We just throw them out the window. Generally they was. Wasn't much stuff doing back in those days, so better believe all them Hajis that we confiscated them pictures of their family with. Whenever we was real bored, getting out to doing nothing up there in the sand and fucking pit of boredom that was. We'd all take turns jerking off to your wives. Pictures of you had in there. Fuck it. And even if they was just wearing one of them burkas, we'd imagine what the bitch looked like. Drop the loads on her and then we'd leave her in the sand. Vaya con Dios, what we say. Jose did that, rest in peace. I mean, I think he just said that's something that was to say in Spanish. I don't know whether it really translates to anything past nothing. We was violating, and I ain't apologizing for that. I just got a little verklempt up there and choked when I thought about Jose. Poor son of a bitch. Vaya con Dios, Jose. That's what I say. Now, you see, we were still coming back around the full circle. I kind of went on Bender. Blame that on the Hornito or blame that on, hey, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Fuck you. That's an easy way to put it. Because I got, well, more of this Resputrusel tequila to go. And then once this done, my fists turn into hammers. And my mind turns Masonic. I just got to start pounding shit. Now, coming back full circle, I can't even really remember where that circle began. We got to talk about them war stories. You know, I could sound like one of them old folk. Used to talk to me when I was a young kid growing up. They used to talk the talk at a nom, and I never knew why. I said I'd never do that because of Iraq, but it turns out I just ended up doing it. It was kind of fun talking about that old shit. Fuck. Now I mix it in with some faggots up there in West Hollywood trying to suck a dick. I think it mixed in with Hajis because I got hate. I can't. I ain't got hate. I got disgust. And I got pity. No empathy. I don't know what that's like. Pity, I got a little bit of that. I pity the fool whoever tries to do it to me again, because I always do. That's just something I learned off TV. Been taught a lot off that. I really don't even pity the fool. I just like saying it because Mr. T said it. Whatever Mr. T said, god dang it, that's scripture till to this day for me. What Mr. T say, that is that's bona fide. And to get bona fide in my book, you gotta do a lot. You gotta be a lot. And I mean, even the folks that don't ever even own a TV, or let alone had a chance to watch the 18, still know that Mr. T is bona fide just because he's Mr. T. I ain't pities fools, so I did too. To this day, I still do. Don't really say it out loud though. I'd hate to give Gus to a saying that been done right proper only once. The last time it came out of his mouth and every time before that. I don't want to do it some impropers. So I think it. I pity the fool is what I say over my head. For that shotgun I'm chucking, it's one of those other times that, you know, we ain't gonna get to talking about. Or if it's one of them fighters up there in West Hollywood, I'll put up with these hammerheads, come knocking blocks off, I'll throw them over get the fuck out in East Hollywood, try to do it there. Weirdos down there sucking dick for nickels up there on the Star Strip just so they can go on, have enough to get enough methamphetamine to fuel them up for the night, get all charged up and then run around in the late night in the corners, prowling on Craigslist and trying to get drunk dudes at bars, just playing on Grindr, trolling and shit, being who they are, devilish ones, dressed fancy, yeah, and then trying to get paid for it all at the end of the night. You ain't gonna get a nickel from me either way. Better run. I come with boom boom right there and I'll watch you come gone. But it's the way of the world. So guess what? Being that I'm one that goes with the way of the world, and that's life, generally how I see it, remember, without the interruptions, comes down to the tiger and the seal. Tiger versus seal. Seal never wins. It's a dog-eat-dog world. Don't let me mix you up, but only the strong survive. Did you follow? Because I am that one. Even them rock brickhead faggots out there in whatever gym you got over there, if you in LA, they done took over it. Now they just looking at using locker rooms, another place to suck some dick, fucking up your shower. Now you gotta get out of there dirty, pissed because you still gotta stay with the membership because you're under some obligations contractually. Well, I tell them to go bite it. I'm talking about the fist, wherever contractually put you in there because there needs to be a stipulation. It's not gonna get full of rockheads trying to suck it off in the place where your private time coming. You need to get clean or else you stink. Smell like a bum up on their corner. You don't want to be that bum, make too much money. But you also don't want to go broke, being sued possibly for contractual obligations you couldn't meet. But $30 a month ain't to be given away. That's one meal on the Grubhub or the Uber Eats that you can have to foot out yourself, which means one less ramen, one less bad moment of suffering through another bite. just to stay alive. You won't have to do, because you'll have an extra 30 and one more night, or at least a month, to have a chance of some prime rib. Don't let them take your prime rib. Be a man, tell them you ain't paying until the dick sucking's fresh, cleaned out of it. And that means nobody with mustaches allowed in. Raleigh fingers, get the fuck out. You a good enough baseball player already. These pot stuckers are ruining your good night. Greasing up the wheels with Murray's pomade on the side of that. Make me not even want to use it anymore, so I didn't. I flipped it up to some yellow can other shit. Till they start catching word on that and start using it. Fucking bullshit. I don't want no association, but association keep on following me. On God's green earth, I don't know how it gets so goddamn turn around. But it'll get turned back full circle, because animalistic is who we are. In society, well, it's just a piece and a part of the place that we're doing it, playing it out with, using it as a tool. That's just backed up on some religious shit. It all started out with the money, because money's the only way to get a little piece of the power. This was years ago. Way of thinking then, same as way of thinking now. The only time it was different, before fire. Before there was fire, us, great-great-grandfathers, mothers, relatives, we was barely walking upright, if that. There was some that couldn't even do it. Had hair everywhere. We was beasts, literally. But we was a little smarter because we had half a brain up there, if not a made quarter. We wasn't using 1%. If before there was fire, the only thing on everybody's mind, collectively, all at once, after rape, for the men it was 80%, wake up, who am I gonna rape today? Go do that. And then I guess the rest of it, all after that, until the rape builds up the need to do it again, would be on fire. Because it's fucking cold. Everywhere is fucking cold. When you're naked and you just got hair, you fucking cold. You want to make some fire. You gonna figure that out. You didn't know it was fire yet. You was just like, I need something. What is this? The only thing that would satisfy that craving, kind of hit two birds with one stone, miraculous as it is. But rape, that would do it. You get warmed up and, you feel better up there. Whatever that fucking Johnson was that you had coming out of there. Beast could ever be. Kind of like what a retards look like now. You ever see them in the bathroom when you're at the grocery store or something? You gotta cut a leak. Sometimes you find one of them in there just beating the shit out of it against the wall or something. God damn, calm down, retard. How about I flick you a shiny nickel and run out and chase my wife with that thing? I'm gonna have a good laugh. Sometimes they do it, it's funny. Then I get some free bacon or something for whatever the store apologizes to me. They're retard being let out with no chains on. So if you put some chains on there, save you some coin. This bacon I'm eating tonight, on you. And my wife's dramatic event number 53, I'm sure. She gotta get over it, like them pills. But they didn't have them back in the days. For the women, if you could call them that, beasts, they all looked alike. The only thing they would know is for one being able to smell the other one from a mile away. Stinky fucks. Yeah, like an aboriginal is when he's not in a Paul Hogan movie. Pieces of shit, fucking A. Yeah, even they, kind of have that love-hate relationship with the rape. That's why it started flipping it around. What you think them on top came to be? They just accepted the heat that they're gonna get off of that and said, fuck this, quit bending me over there. Hog hash, we get on top of you and see what it's all about. Which was, them women kicking up them smarts out there and, getting a little of that heat for themselves. Can't blame them. Either way, that just inspired man to get a little more proactive with that fire. Because he had to have it. Sex wasn't even doing him that good anymore. Something was wrong. It's fucking cold. Goddamn ice age. Woolly mammoths and big as shit. Can't kill them. Without a whole crew, then it turns into just one big old ravaging, rape and eat fuck fest. That can't be life is what you be thinking, even though it is. So, for the rest of the time, you was thinking on how to make fire, and you was just doing shit. And that shit didn't work, and you was doing some other shit, but you couldn't even think that good, because your brain just a pile of nothing. It's just like a couple of particles and atoms bouncing around in there, like a pinball machine broken on a moving trip to Juarez, Mexico, down from Washington, on Route 66, in a fucked up 3-wheel U-Haul, one spare going flat, and there's some rickety cocksucker in there driving it who don't give two noodles about anything past his bottle of sarsaparilla. Nothing wrong with that, because I got horny. That's a fucked up brain thinking nothing, except when I get lucky, one of them pinballs hit the thing that lights something up and fucking A. Be goddamn lucky if it stuck. One day it did. One of them hee-haws looking like a bear, stinking like a horse, that just ate a bear that got shot by a, who even knows? I don't know that smell, but one day came the flame, and you couldn't deny it, because that whole lot of earth that was in the vicinity of that beast that made that first flame got completely charbroiled from how quick he went up in it, from all that hair on it. Burnt to shit. 3rd degree. Would be a normal one. He just came out bald looking like Mr. Clean. Cold as fuck. Died soon after from frostbite, but at least he got to see his Johnson before he went, which is unlike anybody else up to that time, and gotta give it to him. Died better than everyone else before him. Can't go without seeing what your Johnson looked like. And not that he got credit for it. Nobody cared about the flame that he made, because they saw Johnson too. Blown away. They look like that. Shoot, everybody wanted to start seeing what theirs looked like. Didn't know. Alright, then it came this whole thing. Johnson comparing and figuring out how that works. He kind of stopped the need for continuing on with the fire, even though they were still cold as hell, until one figured out the Johnson comparing incidences about that fire, and how he remembered when he was hot, the Johnson looked bigger. So in secret, he went to where that first one was that found it, had been charbroiled beyond what a charbroil could ever be. BB. That's from Burger King or Louisiana Burger called Popeye up down the street. He found a little flint and some rock. He started banging shit together because that's the only thing they knew how to do back then. Kind of like if we found a computer, we would plug it in and start hitting some keys. That was their version of plugging in and hitting keys. They'd find a couple of things that looked like they could go together. Flint, rock, fucking A. Start banging that shit. See if it worked. Same as we would be hitting Alt-Control-Delete, motherfucker. Turn that shit on. And that shit turned on. And then he'd win the Johnson contest. 17 years in a row. That selfish bastard, prick, as you could call him with the pun intended, hoarded that heat for 17 years just to win the Johnson contest. For 17 years straight, he'd all of a sudden have to be somewhere before the Johnson contest began. A bunch of cavemen laying up against the wall of a cave, naked as always, with the Johnsons shaved out, burnt, from what they could make and get lucky with over the year. Trying to, they pluck them out and do all that shit. Kind of like the bears, how they shed, rubbing against trees. They do that to the Johnsons. So I figured out they actually get aroused by them trees. First fetish known to man, if you want to call them that. Women liked it though. They didn't mind seeing some of that Johnson. It scared the men though when the women started doing it back. Said, those beasts, what the fuck is going on down there? That looked just like my asshole. Some guys realized, well, they is kind of like assholes and started flipping it around because they too lazy to go get to the rape pile down there with that long-haired beast over there. You had 15 times last Tuesday, so you just call your buddy. Makes sense. Next thing you know, making sense together. And that's how, on year 18, two of them Johnson dwellers, participants, they figured they'd kill a little time, while the previous 17 years, winners in a row, which is a lifetime back in them days, gone to do whatever he needed to do. Very strange once you come to think of it, but they didn't think much past then, so they went off to retreat for a little bit of a hole number 2 sex on women, but it's just hole number 1 on men, until they figured out about the mouths, but don't get me started. So they went out to retreat, and they was hiding ever since back then to now. Everybody trying to always be secret about it with it, from the quest for fire to quest to hide your like for dead. Now it ain't the same. They're just flamers sucking. That's the evolution. The fire and the flames come from the mouth over your cock. Watch yourself unless you like that way. Because they found the man making the fire. He had a good one brewed up there, and he had his balls over there. Whole Johnson racked up. It was cooking. It really was cooking. They didn't know it. The heat was so good they'd be around, get a couple degrees, maybe 2nd degrees burns and be worth it. Not charbroiled though. You don't want like that. But those 2nd degrees, he'd come out. He was just in the middle of 1st. Loved it. Standing right over that flame he had going, pop, tooting it up. And those two flaming hole number 1ers about to retreat off and kill some time. They seen this happening. Well, they came up right behind him, didn't say nothing. Just picked up a huge boulder, dropped it on his head as far as they could throw it, hard as they could throw it, bomb it down. Which incidentally, was everybody heard this shriek of terror from the other one who did. Turns out he was the effeminate one and showed through. Because everybody knew now. They just all came down to witness a hate crime is what they thought from the brutality that rock to the back of their head did to the man who got the fire. Flame on though, everybody was hot. And any sort of repercussion for killing another member of that tribe, all forgotten how good it felt to just be warm. They would watch that fire day in and day out. Most wouldn't even leave. You ever heard about Neanderthal was getting fat? This was the beginning of it. They'd have a chunk of that woolly mammoth and just watch that fire burn. Forget about everything else. But after that, the fire and all, the only 2 things we think about. If I can recall right, mind you, a bit of it trailed off. We're still going around in a circle, if you understand. We're almost all the way back around. But if I recall right, I believe we was talking about after fire, money and power. Was it power and sex, loads and bombs, and cocaine and whores? See, Racha and Hornitos, fucks and use. We'll get it going. About time. Evening. How be? I reckon good. I reckon if he was anything else, well, I don't really know. So I'ma just reckon he was good. But I'm also reckon you wouldn't mind being great. That was if I got to reckoning. And I must admit, from time to time, I reckon I've been known to do just that. Reckon, pardon, but not excusing. We're talking about myself. If I do now reckon, do you know who this is? Testing the microphone to you, drinking his wine like a smooth sarsaparilla, deep off into the chirping, cooling summer night. Out there past the bush and with the girl with the cutie eye. Be Cowboy Peet, the one that known to fly, the one that known to die. We'll get it going. About time. But how do we be? Good, I hope. Hope we're real good, because we got a lot to be doing good for. A lot of reasons to be exactly that. That's all you need. Just a reason to be. Folk today, boy, plenty of them. I mean, this is the new day and age. You know what I'm saying? It almost be real bad right there, but that's because I just got too much of this shit piling up and down and wopping around from my head down to the tip of my dick. everything need tended to. It just always be. That's how it be. And I know you see, because, well, there ain't no way around about it. I dropped some on my couch. I care less. Fuck it, rat test this. You know where we at right now? America? Yes, that is correct. And that should have been your first answer. And if anybody else asked you, normally that'd be your only answer, and you stamp your foot down to the ground, give him a nod, look him straight in the eye and say, nothing. You already said your answer, America. That's it. Texas also would have worked if it was someone else asking you where you think he was, because America and Texas, two of the same, one in a kind. Except, well, it's a toss-up on which one I'd prefer to claim my residency at. Definitely when George Sr. was president, those 4 great years, rounded up them 80s real nice, kicked off them 90s the way they needed to be, with a good to all of us. Yeah, I'd be proud to be an American then, be happy to say it. Then come around the later years, last 8 of them 90s, those were tough times. I think for all of us, 90s was hard, and I'd much, to my dismay, yet it's always been a toss-up. I'd have preferred, if you asked that question, for them 8 years I'd have just said, I'm in Texas. Even if I was technically in California, my answer would still be Texas. Better like it. Take a fistful of knuckles right into your cheek. Next one to hit you in the jaw. Test if it's glass or not. Now I'll give you a spoiler if you want to do that test. Here's the answers. 100 out of 100 jaws that put to the test under my knuckles, enough to make me want to put them in a sandwich, feed it to them. Well, all them glasses was jaws, and jaws shattered like the glasses they was alike. There's your spoilers, you entertainment junkie. Don't worry though, you only gonna hear it here. I ain't one to go run out and blog about it on my Reddit right next to your Game of Thrones fucking bites and morsels. I tell y'all addicts, we here come from Texas, we got vice. It's a little more of the traditional kind though, the tried and true. None of this new shit. Us Texconians have been riding in that Lone Star since before we could walk, and do call our home right there on the range, because that is where it be. All the way down from Austin, up around up to Dallas and Fort Worth, in there, all the way through goddamn shitty piece of Oklahoma, run through it, take you by to Colorado, but you may well turn around when you get there, because you're coming into something new that ain't been tested. And you can see that once you enter that plume of new age 1963 repeating hippie to the most affected degree, microcosm of shit wafting about within the air and all about you. You're gonna think to what I said and put you some care into how quick you do that U-turn and flip it on back to the state that matters, the only country left that always gonna be Texas, where I be, where you is too, but don't you be claiming that unless you really is. Otherwise, you just American. If you ain't native, the Lone Star, most I recommend, come in, get you a taste, have you a Whataburger, one in, go down, check out what we got, have you some barbecue maybe, go on you about Austin, get you a pink taco, and around that 360 loop, look at the great Dell computer, that structure right around there, a lot of more tech, be high tech in that. Then get you another Whataburger on the way out, get the fuck gone, back to wherever you came from. We ain't got room for all y'all. We got others coming in across that border, popping off them Rio Grandes, either piece of the cartel or running from the cartel. They've more to offer great state of Texas than you can ever do. You entitled and a piece of shit in my mind. Hate to say it, you a fellow brother and American, yes, but you're not Texas American. So you still just a piece of shit. Lazy, entitled, good for nothing, know nothing, piece of shit. I ain't got nothing for you, but the one fact that comes with you being a piece of shit in a place full of a whole bunch of other pieces of shit, entitled to everything in their mother. They was born under a white one, come out of one, been slipping down and been held ever since, because it was in the country of America. That place means you my brother in arms. If it comes down to us against them fucking Germans again, them gooks up there, Vietnam, chinks up there in China, slambacks up there in fucking Japan, Kumbo Kako Chaya. Last Samurai gonna be Nakupo Kaya, gonna be me and you. Then you better watch out you ain't next to me, because I'd take a chunk out of an entitled piece of shit. If you're the last one around and nobody's looking, I fucking hate you. I do. Not as much as I hate Kupo Kaya though. Picking and choosing, you've been advised. Now you know. There's a chance you may take me down too. Not a good chance, but it'd be a chance. You know, everybody got one. It's like you shot. You got that shit in the dark. And, it ain't never gonna get that dark. Shit. Anyhow, that's just for whatever your answer may be. Make sure it be one of them and not Texas unless you're really from Texas. And if you is, want to sit next to me and have you with Lone Star, I ain't got none right here. I got Guinness, but you can bring over some Lone Star and we have it together. That's a good beer. That's like Jesus would have had the Last Supper. And with the technology today, everyone's afforded up to the invention of Lone Star beer, Jesus would have had him some Lone Star. Everybody but Judas. Lone Star, well, I'm just kidding. It don't pick no favorites. From criminal convict to a Catholic raper. Them kids, you can all have it. Even me, I have it too, and I'm better than all them fucks. That's bad enough. They all fuck. They can eat. We all can have Lone Star. But I prefer Guinness because it's better nature. My palate's more distinguished, refined, as some may say. But I like to consider myself a distinguished one. Not unlike the gentleman Eddie Murphy played in that movie. Fucking That black he could act. He could, piece of shit. And where was BB? Now, I was getting on a little bit of the introduction, where you was from and where I was be. Now, if you didn't catch it already at this point, I'm from Texas. Greatest state in the world, and you're from, as long as you answered close enough, who the fuck really cares? Bottom dollar, dollar to cent, you just another one of them entitled yucks. Wouldn't do any better than nothing, and I'd rather see a Mexican over here in a second doing me some right and proper on my lawn, whatever else. Landscaping, water, chasing, all that shit. He doing it. You ain't doing shit. The fucking unemployment the hell out of here, Whitey. No time for you non-working it. Got me off track, piece of shit. As we were, we was about to begin. We'll get it going. Now time. Well, hello there. My name is Cowboy Peet, and I come here today in my Stetson, precisely 10 gallons, genuine and made from some of the best hat furnishings that one of the cowboy nature could ever be made of, and not be fashioned of one so divine it would have to be featured only in whatever the American's version of the Llouve would be. Stetson ain't welcome in Paris. Wouldn't be caught dead next to no Mother Teresa or any one of them other he-she's out there just out bent and hardened to disgrace the Stetson. I don't think so. But under that, behind these blue blocking shades that you may have thought you saw on infomercials back in the day during them afternoon TVs with the commercials tell you to go to college at the Technical Institute, get you a degree, maybe something in nursing or whatever. X-ray tech? Yeah, I'm sure y'all made it. Doing swell now, but these ain't them blue blockers. These is of a different degree. These is of a first degree. Badass. I ain't telling you where I got them, just know that they first degree. That's badass. For instance, the way you look at these glasses and the way most others do, they say, damn, those are some badass sunglasses. And right there, you know how much you want them. The ones I'm wearing, that'll tell you what degree it is, because it's better than the ones you got. The ones you got, maybe you thought they were badass at one point, but that quickly faded. Now you see these and you was dripping it from the mouth, drooling. It's like you was on one of them sucking the pee-pee trips everyone else is on, and you were coming out the closet for the first time, about ready to blame it on your Jack Daniel adventure that you had the whole night before. Like this, just wanting it. You're gonna do anything for it. That's of the first degree badass area. The department right there, that's all my shit. Anyhow, under that shit, that's me, Cowboy Peet. And you know, I ain't gonna say it, but you know, I'm also of the first degree. That's a badass. First. We'll get it going. Now, time. I grew too quick. Much too quick. I'm saying that right now because I feel it when I think to how little of them times I really am able to kick on back and have a nice think about. And no, there wasn't nothing I wouldn't have changed about whatever thought it is I might be dreaming in the day on. It couldn't have been better if I wouldn't have done it just a little bit different, so I could have me an outcome that might be a little more favorable to the memory. Seemed like every one of them could have used a little more favor, even if it was one of the real good ones that's sparkled with the sweetness taste of sorrow, which is a spice that my life led up to here has not been without. Yet few would know outside of what I'm saying on it right now, because you'd have thought if you knew me more than just these last couple, we talking words and sentences, if there was one, maybe they're running it on, maybe there was not. But if you knew me, you'd probably have thought different, just cause the sorrow never seemed to seep out. Nobody ever catch the sap leaking out of Cowboy Peet unless you got real close and was one of them that might have been the cause of that sap. And right now, thinking on it, you'd be a piece of my sorrow. You'd be one of them daydreams, less forgotten and more remembered. It's just another time nostalgic done kicked it back into me on a, yeah, you remember that time, Cowboy Peet. Should have done this and why the hell didn't you do that? Piece of shit. If you did, you wouldn't have to see me. But regretfully, I get to look in that mirror every day I wake up, and it'll haunt me as the last face that dare give me an eye like that before I bed down to sleep. So until that curse gonna change, then I might as well just plan on talking to it instead of just looking away, because there ain't no sense in being afraid of all the things I did that stack up in the concrete in the cracks and take them stabs of the nails and pounds which went together, stick up in mortar to crucify in piece by piece the ins and the alls, ups, downs, and dicks, butts, arms, and everything else you see that when comprised is Cowboy Peet, little old me. I gotta learn to embody and be happy if I ever gonna truly see another me. We'll get it going. Now time. Where was that man in the mirror? Cause we all got one of them, even that little kid who liked to beat it, drink some off-brand wine, probably more expensive than Lord knows, called it Jesus juice, holier than thou. Probably thought that a good idea with that time he had up in the hyperbaric chamber, that if I'd put my money on it, peso to dollar to Bitcoin, I'd bet, was filled with some acidic, black erasing water meant to decharge out the melatonin in the man and make him look as close to me as a white Negro ever could, which would have been a laughing matter, but man had money, if you want to ever call him that, but just on paper. But enough paper would give everybody a chance to get their nose carved up, look pointy and sharp like a good albino always would in an Archie comic. That pointy nose, pasty skin, couldn't even cast a shadow with his complexion after a while, but still found himself generous enough to fuck them little kids and have them suck on his small Peter, piece of shit. So yeah, even he was looking at that man in the mirror. Guess we all got them demons, and well, we all better not have them demons. God, thank God, there ain't another Michael Jackson. So you gotta feel pretty goddamn good about yourself if you think about that. Cause that old elbow Negro, which I catch off the name albino alligator like they do in the South, call it an elbow gator, somehow made it that far. Which they say a lot about a man's reflection, and even more about an elbow gator, cause normally his mama kill that devil spawn the moment it come out of her and she see that run. Pasty white looking like a demon walking around, ghosting through the jungle. She ain't give it the chance, lest that elbow gator got a piece of luck with him and it struck on, which ain't gonna happen rare, as rare can be. And that was him. And until them pills caught up with him, that luck never would have ended. Fucking them little kids and sticking his small, ignorant penis, thirsty as can be, into their mouths. Still able to look at that reflection, still able to die an elbow gator. They don't come around that often. Ones that complexly fucked up. In other words, those pieces of shit, they ain't you, and they ain't me either, because there's something real easy you can do to separate a piece of shit from yourself. You took the time to listen to this, or watch me. Now, short of you being another one of them dick sucks, just out to look and hope maybe you get a glance of my bulge, or I might stretch and get a glimpse of my armpit, whatever else, kick my shoe off, and you could take down a note on my size 12, as both of them same size, equal. I'm one walking smooth, and my equilibrium balanced. It's perfection within man's greatest imperfection, and that is one that would be watching this, hearing me, or just getting off on any other reason than the only reason my mouth is moving. No question about it, you're gonna know which one you is. I'm only talking till you know which one. The rest of you, pieces of shit, you're gonna end up just like that elbow gator, more commonly known or maybe unknown, or just fucked with that name Michael Jackson, mucking it up for the rest of them, sharing the first name just alike. Piece of shit out there fucking little kids and sticking your little small wang devil dick in their mouths. Well, y'all ain't want it. Now, that being said, excuse me, that being said, your day already got better, cause you too are 100% more of a chance to succeed in the quest for life's smile on a daily basis than them ones I just called out who got lucky and just by chance thought there was something past more. Fuck them. Get into something and figure yourself out. Life pretty much mapped out. No extra little bonuses. Been the same long as I can remember. The bonuses, I always seen them as a way to weed out the faggots in the world. You can always do it one at a time, one bonus. Because every bonus, somebody up cup chucks around and feels they need all of a sudden for doing the same amount of everything that they did once they started at the joint. Well, that person gonna need a check. Or that person, he just a faggot, and he about to get weeded out whether he know it or not. Because it's what comes in your brain that pollutes it to the point that it becomes something that no longer just is a hope and a dream and a what if and a could have, or something just laying dormant or not even existing like it be in my head. No, it's acted on and it's reveled upon, and then it starts to spread like a virus. Because everybody want a handout. Everybody want an excuse. Everybody want an easy life, and nobody want to do any extra to get any of it. They just gonna want it nonetheless, though. Give them the chance, they take it. They ain't gonna look back, except when they're yelling while blowing that dust in your face as they're driving that new Ferrari cop from a bonus, and you still stuck out there with the Dodge Durango 1994 brand. Aqua Blue with the light white trim. Used to be cherry, but now it's just been, well, it was built tough. Fuck a Ford, pardon my language, Dodge built them tougher. We get it going. Now time. Well, I got Stetson everything. Stetson hat, drinking some Stetson right here. I got these Stetson fine python boots. And those pythons, these right here, these from the Stetson python. Rode on the Stetson ranch where they got the pythons and the gators. Only the finest you're gonna get when they put them in a boot. You can get these down at Alcala's over there in Chicago. Not quite downtown, but just midtown almost there. You can tell. Believe me, you could tell. And when you get there, you ain't just gotta say nothing. They gonna know Cowboy Pete sent you. When you come asking for some Stetsons, they know who you want to be like. Take it as a compliment. I do. I don't take anything otherwise. You put less than a compliment on me, well, your evening with Cowboy Pete are gonna be a little bit different than most. You're gonna have a bit of a raw deal come next morning because I'm gonna be honest with you. Can I be honest? You're gonna be hurt. You'll be hurting real bad. This was supposed to be an enjoyable evening with everybody's friend Cowboy Pete. You can take my word on that one because, like I said, you don't want to be my enemy. These evenings are supposed to be enjoyable. If there was anything less than pleasant, well, doggone, I wouldn't be having it. Don't make much sense now, do it? Have an unpleasant evening. If I were to have an unpleasant evening, well, I'd still be married to Miss Cowboy Pete and I'd be a piece of shit. You'd have known me not as Cowboy Pete. You'd know me as, look at that piece of shit right over there. What's he doing? Oh, he's just a piece of shit. Give him no mind. Let him be on his way. And if I came over there to talk to you, you'd look the other way. Because I would be, well, if you've been paying attention this far, I ain't got to say it again, but some of y'all just tuning in to the evening with Cowboy Pete. This being my introduction, you'd have known me as a piece of shit. But that was previous to this. Right now, Cowboy Pete. Far from it anything but. Because I done changed up a bit from that. We'll get it going. Now time. Yeah, be. Yeah, I assume y'all be good. Y'all look righteous. That is if I could see it, but I would assume y'all is as righteous as I imagine. That's pretty righteous. That is pretty good. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Being at a point in your life where you can absorb a compliment such as what Cowboy Pete just delivered to you, that is an absorption rate I respect. Most they tend to get that right up in their head, let it go places, call you something almost divine. Most, now in this day and age, now I'll explain the most and who they be, but most, they gonna take that, they're gonna chirp off in their head and click something out. They're gonna say, shit, I'm a righteous individual, therefore that means I'm the second coming of Christ. By God, don't fuck my face with my phone some more, as I'm looking at it next morning. I'm gonna be reading about his prophecy. He all of a sudden raised up into the new limelight of today from being a shepherd all his life before, spent like a Buddhist, but yet in the same life, now delivering his vast knowledge of the experiences we all need to, for some reason, fucking know. Through that horse mouth piece of shit who just yesterday wouldn't know more than the piece of shit who I just said was righteous just to make a piece of shit for y'all alright. Now I done gone to his head. That piece of shit got some entitlement on it, and it's delusional, and it's running rampant with the bomb. Who knows when that shit gonna blow, but you gonna feel it when it does, which wouldn't be much an issue, except today, it ain't just one bomb we gonna feel at a time, because there ain't just one righteous piece of shit speeding down the informational superhighway, locked in on a target, dead set on the center of this planet, and the reality that I gotta deal with this shit along with y'all right here in it. That be fucking trails, huh? Well, not on my watch, compadre. Compadres, pieces of shit, need to come back to the real world, not with no pack mentality either. It's empowering you to think that bomb you got is gonna do something when it hit. Good always triumph over evil it's a fair way to put about it, because good is within humans' nature. It's where we strive to be within the realm of the goodness for life. Being able to have a pleasant one, be able to experience the good things up in it, beauty, knowledge, people, women's big breasts that are attached to supple bodies, not big breast plus big body. That is not a natural desire of man. Keep within the norm, and normality shall prevail and show its way through. If you stick to that, doggone it, you're gonna see that good. You're gonna come radiating out. Each one of all y'all, me plus you. That kind of gonna do. That's what we living to be and see. Not much more, definitely not less. That right there, that's what's expected. I bet y'all we got a consensus of that. Chalk it up as that's set in stone. Commandment, as they say. Goodness and equality. Hold the fuck up. Now, equality, who just chimed in and said that in my brain? That's a little bomb going off. You follow? Because equality got nothing to do with it. You never will. Y'all tripping that word up. You spun it in a way that puts you on the same playing field as me. And I don't like that playing field. Because that playing field, that's fucked up. That's a field where I can't ever win. Guess what? Even if I do, this new field that y'all blended together, equal in all aspects of it all, doesn't even give me the right to rub it on in. Stick it to you when I win. Not if, when I win. But you wouldn't even know that. Because ain't no score be counted, nothing tallied up at the end of the year. Come time for the trophy, big celebration, banquet, or a potluck, barbecue, whatever. You better believe that piece of shit, worst player on your team, peanut looking head, half fucking retarded, and we thought he was a girl because of the way he threw, and he looked like one. He had that limp wrist too. That's a contagious little disease that's coming out a lot. Kids these days, everybody I know popping it up. Watch out for that limp wrist. Come with an affliction on the way you talk too. Come with that lisp. You don't want that. That change the way you see everything on life. Whole perspective come up, knocked away sideways, and lost past the chance to ever get fucked up straight again. Living crooked and dying wrong. That piece of shit, he only hurt the team. He did nothing good, didn't even motivate, did nothing positive. To tell you the truth, he didn't even pay the expenses that it would cost to just have the ability to say you're part of the team. Said he didn't have the money. With your limp wrist and your affliction and the way you talk. Your massive presence on the internet and the grinder. Your LGTDP sucker DICK. Fuck you. Kind of coin. Fuck me though, right? That don't exist. The only thing that exists is being fair. What's fair? That he got to go up before me at the banquet presentation, celebrating all the players, receive a trophy with a big applause for some reason. Because I know nobody liked that piece of shit, so why was they clapping? I wasn't. Everybody else was. He gave his speech. Fucking more applause. Didn't make no sense and it was a bunch of lies. Just basically talking trash about all the people that been coddling him, helping him up, and giving him that trophy right here today. Then he sat down. 15 minutes later, called me up next. Time had ran out. I didn't even get to accept my trophy, the exact same one he got, which was the same one everybody else got on the team. And then it was the same one on my team everyone got on the team next town over, and the one next state on over. In the whole country, well, we all received that same trophy. It was a trophy for participation, equal on all sides of the spectrum and places on the map. No one person was going to show through better than any other. There was nothing that could divide anybody on there and give a man a right to step up to the plate and brag on it like a man needs to do sometimes. To set his place in the script of society as a place on the top of that hill, and then let the rest of it start writing on out how he sees fit or how somebody else sees to fit themselves in and take over. They didn't even have names on it because you could, if given no other place to brag on, you could use where your name fell in the alphabetical order as something to brag on, as in just because you got it first. So it was all completely random and without name. Everybody was a participant with a smiley face emoji stamped up in that little plate where the name was supposed to be, with one thing they missed, because equal we all were, if you look at it that way, from the outside on in. If you read them trophies, there was one name on there that was going to rule above all. That was 50 million trophies we bought from some guy made in China. You see that name stamped right on the bottom of every one, etched in fake gold, bronze, oh shit. Poisonous to all who touch when it start rubbing off. Bought by the lowest bidder, the people putting us all on teams, making us play, but never letting us win. Just end the season at the same exact place we begun it at, with no progress. Just a waste of a season. I could have been building up my bragging rights. Now, who'd have known? Was that guy that was remembered? Is that something you can't take out of what people do? They do remember stuff they see more than the other. Well, they remembered that piece of shit in his 15-minute faggot speech over me. Number one player on the team, contributed the most, recognized the least. And that's a shame, because what's that do to the natural order? The way we know to live, as if there was any other way. Changes it. It bends it to something unnatural and skewed. It's just wrong. And I know it's wrong. It's when something don't feel right. Well, it's wrong. Now, the unapproachable is what I was trying to approach after that, on why it is I don't get a chance to smile without a group of people immediately shutting my voice down by saying that what I'm saying ain't right, and it be against the greater good of America. To promote any thought coming out under this 10-gallon Stetson hat behind these blue blocking badass first-degree shades. People get scared after that. Pack mentality fueled by that mob wins again. They've been winning for a while, and they all carrying bombs. They all about to blow sooner than you know. But I ain't been too descriptive on what they look like. Something to watch out for, right? Well, that's because you already know. You're just scared to point it out. I mean, even to yourself. These days, everybody got a microaggression times an aggression times a fucking lesson they think they need to put up into somebody else who speak on something maybe feels right to them, or just doesn't make sense when it's spun up against everything else. So they just keep on quiet, shut up and shut down. Lock themselves up in the house and get her done. Whatever that may be, you'll never know. They ain't sharing it. They just ain't got the fuel left in them to have another go at it. I got fuel in me. A little bit fire. Not a lot, done been used up a lot. Doing the same thing, shut my mouth. Not ain't long. Don't do no good trying to hold my tongue if everybody else ain't trying to hold theirs. I can't be out here on my own, just a voice, cause I can't use my fists no more, cause I done ruined that shot. Last time I took a shot at somebody, they proved. Well, it proved everything I thought I wished I didn't know. Fucking quote from that Facebook shit. Fucking virus revealed the truth about everybody. Showed though who people really was. And they're looking for some sort of feel-good reaction. Some fucking quote been done quoted 8 billion times before with a picture. Nice little calm lake in the background. Whatever else, you can find it at the decor that a hospital would choose to put on their walls. Don't believe me? Look at a hospital wall and you're gonna see a bunch of pictures of lakes, still water, bullshit quotes, do better. All just lies. People buy it though. Shit, the hospital knew what they was doing. Spirits up. You gotta fix people if people fixing themselves without even knowing it. But you still take that check. Cha-ching. First and foremost, them bombs is coming, and I ain't one to let them get me with the blow. These terrorists strapped up with the vests full of synthetic lies, wrapped up around a det cord style fuse that is made up with bullshit and need of purpose and anger, twisted together into a distorted thought process that is what they made it out to be, for being who they are. People that are overweight, have no self-control, don't know when to say no, and have no understanding on moderation or limits. It's all about excess. It's all about them. Self-serving, literally and figuratively. They will not help you out, and they never have. Greed, gluttony, and pains in the ass. To everyone who forced to have to live around them is the lives these losers lead. Pathetic and sick in the head and in the public. Their atmosphere is a bubble beyond ours. Gives them more rights to space and air. That's strictly from disgust at anybody who don't share the same lifestyle as these behemoths try to keep all to themselves, overdoing it and giving up. Little babies in big, bulbous bodies, whining and whimpering every time they don't get what they want. And this is to never an end, because they never know how to stop having to want or need, because it's always gonna follow with that tear or spit out the side of the mouth when they gotta speak. Rare as it be, but crying's what it normally sound like. Then coming together is what they figured out, is how to get it all shaped up in their favor. And to get it all, once and for all, from the rest of us, we're just fighting to stay afloat in this crazy little place called America these days. It's a place where you used to be able to have a voice that might be heard, but people screwed that up. Now the fats, the pork rinds, the atmospheric type individuals that nobody in their right mind wants to even be close to on a plane. And if they do, will have to suffer through stuff coming out their body in every way that you ain't used to and you're not conditioned to understand. Because that ain't you. But you're gonna have to suck it up. And hopefully it ain't some overseas flight, because you just really suck, and then that's about it. Because you can't be speaking of the strength in numbers, right? Look at America. How many people overweight? That's a lot of numbers. How many overweight people like to sit? Majority of that all them overweight people. So when you're on a plane, knowing that you're gonna sit, you outnumbered. No matter how you look at it. It goes hand in hand with laziness. Nobody wants to backtalk or spit shit about their favorite pastime. Lord knows, what if they couldn't be lazy anymore? Add that on top of sitting, you're just gonna have to suck it up for as long as it takes. Remember, the ones that would have had the voice, like maybe yourself, maybe me, been done taken away from us years ago, and every time after, when we was reminded on it, the day they handed out them trophies. That fat fuck is making me want to rewrite out Moby Dick on a plane. He's getting away with all that life. He's spreading out up on that, engulfing my senses. And I gotta suck it up. Why is that? Well, you got the majority there, fat fucks. Now give them a voice. Put that online, in a place where they could talk, finally come together, them lazy pieces of shit. Before it would have had to require moving, but now it requires them doing what they're best at. And it's made down so easy to do now. You ain't even gotta move your fingers to type on them keyboards, to put messages out. You just gotta fucking talk. Nah, the internet, yeah, people get sicker off that. Ain't nothing getting fixed. They just exploit who they really are. Nobody to say anything. Because it'd be wrong. And why'd it be wrong? Well, I don't fucking know. Somebody's saying it's wrong, and then there's somebody controlling that right and wrong, pulling them strings. Country cowpokes still get the fucking word across from here to Timbuktu and back again. Even the dumbest, simplest, no-brainer retard now is proficient at everything 5 years ago, maybe 10, he never would have had a chance to do on a computer. Times that by 1 billion, times 10, you got a lot of people connecting up together. Never should have been doing that before, but all doing it now. And that's a big number. Goddamn grammatically degenerate slobs living on emotion and acting of what TV tell them and doing by what Jesus say and saying the same thing their pa did and gave down to them and dying 2 blocks away from where they growed up. They ain't never been further out than the neighborhood they know and being remembered by not a goddamn person except for the one they put below them who says they learned everything they do from their pa and Jesus and all that other bullshit. Just stuck in the mud watching the TV, watching the cars go by around the circle and filling up the couch. Just another potato that should have never been heard outside of the one below him. I'm gonna say he got it from him, but somebody listening just like him, the next neighborhood over. The one over there got that voice too. They all hearing the same shit, which is just the same thing they all think. Until somebody come in there a little smarter than one of them that could use a computer before they made it so easy. One that knew a little know-how about this and that in terms of people and what you gotta do to be the follower or the one that know how to lead. A person like that come in there, see these groups, you can make some power plays with that real fucking easy. When you embed yourself in, it's a like-minded person, no different than the rest, except for a couple ideas strategically placed out there in a way that everybody got that epiphany at the same time because it's like Inception on how masterfully it was crafted on it from this person. Now all these fat, know-nothing lunkheads, lazy, dumb, no-minded, past simple and useless, past what tool they best mimic in the job that is whatever they will do for the rest of their life. Compile. That's an army of Americans. That is the majority of America. Now they together. All you gotta do is pull them strings and jack that mouth open. Whatever you want them to say. Watch them bark. Now, it's a lot of people barking. Somebody's gonna have to start listening. Look at America now. Cool to be fat. Can't say shit. Can't say nothing. Anything against a fat person? Nah, that's not gonna be standing for. Dumb person? I'm talking all the way down to retard short bus kind. Big head, huge cock, all that shit. Be able to have his beat off time in the middle of the day. Reserved. No one to give him anything. No guff, tough, or nothing past. That's Robbie's beat off time. Let him be in the van. It's all good. Can't even call him a tard no more. Alright? Well, then there's a women. Fat women with the voice, there's a separation there. Because fat women with the voice, the ones that are still out there in the public eye, or tried to be. Fat, I'm talking a little bit of rotundness on them. Ugly. Just ones that don't look right. And mainly that's fat women. I mean, that's mainly. Or, well, yeah, just the ones that fucked from birth. That weird face. Just the cunty way about them. Like a Cro-Magnon type female that you can't tell the difference between that and a bull dyke. And y'all know no bull dyke ain't no female. That shit a class of its own. These about in that class, but they don't want to be. You wouldn't know it from how angry they look all the time. The weight that protrudes off of them in so many different ways, it's hard to fend off. Because the anger that follows, the seething, just aura that comes off their monotone and serious way about how they put themselves out there, it don't make anybody want to smile. And it never has, never will. Frankly, when we see a person like this, that is anybody who's not one, our day goes from swell dog diggity to fuck this shit again. The fuck am I gonna do? I can't, and I just don't have the time for this. So you get them in, shuffle them out as fast as you can with no false bravado, because nobody wants to leave one of them with the idea that there should be another interaction between you and them. It's a one-time, unlucky day for me only moment here, and it hopefully will never happen again. Odds are not with you, not after how I leave you. The same impression you leaving on me. Sometimes that slips up though. Fuck, I feel sorry for them. They in for a world of hurt. Most of the time though, it's done in a serious manner. Whatever it is gotta be shuffled through, get shuffled through. There is no smiling. There is no Me Too moments from any of these girls. Nothing. It's just more like a bland communist style way of looking at connections and the way we do them, how our interpersonal style can be guided by more than just what we got in our pants. Because when I seen a social networking app where you can find you a piece of tail, fuck it, or a mouth to use, if you'd like, I jumped on that. I was using that Bumble thing like that B. Fucking hate that name. XXXXX. Girlfriend used to call me that. Must be a chick thing. I still don't get it, but I used their service because it was free and chicks like chick things, so I got on it. Didn't know it was ran by a chick. Actually, I fucking kind of did. I read that shit. It just pops up in my Google. And started hearing things about how she wants to create a safer, equal habitat system for all her users and her females on there. Now, I wanted to throw a brick at her thick, dense fucking head. Peanut-like looking that it is. Right when I saw that, and that's all I needed to see to know that girl. I said, who the fuck do you think you is? Who the fuck dangerous to you? And who the fuck dangerous to a bunch of women when they trying to find love? And if that fuck man shows himself or herself like both like lesbian just the same, guess what? That fuck dangerous as they may be, they all get sent off on to jail or killed by somebody like me because I don't like dangerous fucks around women that I love, people that I know. And other people like me, they think the same way. Don't tolerate dangerous fucks. So a real dangerous fuck, he got to go. And nature done weed that out himself, but at least he got a place to show himself, and now he don't. Now he's shying away like a possum, and all you got is yesterday's trash. Some internet whores out there with a fake picture of their bobblehead meant to believe there's something more than they're not. Nothing against them, it's just you just a piece of the part of that bullshit pulling strings to bring up a false idea that one could get of themselves. Your pussy ain't God's end all be all, and I'm talking to all y'all. His hand mixed with a little lubrication of the right amount and stature do much better, cause pornography's all over. Much better than the has and the sass that it be with most y'all until you find that love in the right one. Unfortunately, me and the danger be my middle name because guess what? All my life, girls been riding on me because of it, because it's the bad guy kind of way about. It's all I got, you dumb fucking cluckhead. And it's all y'all want when it come down to get on the way to finding that right one. That married little dick that you gonna do and breed, procreate, breed some more so you can fuck up your life. I thought about that one time before, but then cause I'm the bad one, the dangerous one, right? Fuck you mean dangerous? I'm fucking with the mind? What about the guys? Ain't a bunch of women on a site where women allowed to do whatever women want? Kinda dangerous to a bunch of guys just trying to find love? Be a danger to me because y'all got grandiose delusions spinning around orbiting them bobbleheads along with that shit that LA looks and all that other aerosol life you're huffing on in the bathroom for an hour and a half every morning, doing it both your brain, people in the household, kids fucking looking up to you, huffing in that shit. It's like you was giving everybody a can of Bronzo or paint. You was a guy on the commercial, except you was a woman trying to look pretty and everybody, they forgive the fact or don't even look at it because you come out there with your fake bosoms up there in some one bra bullshit and everything else that ain't real with your girder and your garter belt, everything else come off dome after the ho-ho come out. Ding dong. Ho-ho, America calling. Then we're hanging up because if that's the shit we gotta deal with, persecuted, bashed through before we even get in the door, after a while, ain't gonna be nobody even trying to come to that door. We all go and get us a robot, fuck the shit out of it, drink sarsaparilla till we die. Shoot our guns too, is what I was getting at. Take pictures of them in our hands when they going off because they look badass. Then put them anywhere we want because guess what? Nobody pulling the strings on us there. Not like on your habitat where if anybody got a picture with them with a gun, well, Lord be known, that picture and that man, a danger to all, and they gotta go. What happens when you come crying and running, come looking for the man with the gun? Once you find out, them real dangerous ones, they was the ones acting like we was bad. They was the ones playing the part and taking y'all to movies. They was the ones waited that whole 6 months just to get in flabby ass. And they was the ones that said, it ain't flabby, you look good, look real good. Them safe ones bought you that ring. Mine's long and thick. And I'm lean and mean, and I don't give a fuck about that I should.
Does some good, keeps it going in a linear fashion with nothing much evolving or changing or having a chance to in terms of people's will to blend and merge with another, like hibiscus blended apple tea into something beautiful. These people were left where they started and dead alone if they keep it up, and they always do. There ain't no reason for them to have a good, different kind of day, sparking up where the sun's shining on their face. The reason for them to smile might be that day and go out and change who they are. Instead, they're just more negative because they fat, overweight, ugly, all that shit. The world treats them alike. We don't want nothing to do with them. So look at the world, the way they see it is the way they see it, but it ain't the way it is. The way it is ain't like that, except if you look like that and act like that, then you deserve that and that's what you're gonna get. That ain't a lot of people, but it's enough people. They got a group too. That group got a lot of power because they packed up in everybody in that group. All them stragglers behind were a minority in something or other or whatever. Now they jam-packed them all together and now all of them got a voice. All of them. One that heard around the world, one that you can't shut up, and one that's in power now, one that's knocking off the ones that were in place with new ones of their choosing, and about to set some new guidelines, standards, and laws on how the rest of us are needing to get to doing. And that's going to be changing, they say. We've been doing them wrong. And everybody agreeing, shutting up and not saying. Just going on home, doing what they got to do to get it done, waking up the next day. Lord help me, we're doing it all over again. But our numbers is more everyone for themselves kind of numbers. It's how we've known life to lead up until this point. That's for myself. That's for people like me. That's for, well, everybody up to this point before the groups and the way the connections started them groups. Made the impossible possible through a piece of shit that's cogging up the machine of life, making it all act woozy and drive like a piece of shit. Only the strong survive? I think not. That's how it used to be, one for all. Everybody out there, fighting for the king of the hill spot. Everybody. And if you didn't make it, was looking up to him some way or another, wishing he was them, and always giving the chance to be them. Just had to start with getting off your fat ass, quitting eating all them donuts, noodles. Everybody had that chance. Only a few take it. And that left everybody stuck in a life they wished wasn't theirs, looking up to somebody they could never be. And now, well, equality, huh? Everybody's on the same platform and playing field. That's what you think. You fat fucks, you ignorant bitches, bobble-headed cunts, doofus faggots. Notice I didn't say nothing about black people, because the only people out there preaching for their own shit is white people. And Al Sharpton or some other fucking reverend out there looking to get some more coin in his pocket. Real black people, they don't give a fuck about those mattering up t-shirts. Bullshit, they say. Don't want nothing to do with that. The media pumping that shit out there. They want just what they always wanted. Goddamn reparations, where the fuck is it? They stuck on that, and that's fine. Even that's fading out. They're just doing their best to get by. I ain't saying by any means they somebody better than me or need to be deserved in any way other than what you know them now. But they're alright with that. They'll work that shit out on their own. Like them fucking Indians. And say nothing about them. They had the same place they always had, with one chief every so often getting talked into by some politician trying to ride the coattails up on them tomahawk chuckers all the way to a place of office. Last Mohicans was the last thing good come out of them firewater guzzlers. After that, I mean really, until you get another Daniel Day-Lewis to step out and act up the part, just go back to your holes and be drunk to the end of your time. Nobody cares. That's the truth. I mean, like your casinos. Unless it was Mohegan's son out there, that's a beast. That shit'll end too, though. And basically, them whites just playing Indian to get the extra coin and the rights on the land. So I can't blame them. Do what you can. They ain't bugging. Same with Mexicans. They ain't bugging either. Unless you a fat, plump, fucking fake Mexican, gringo or some shit, using that bullshit fucking fliction in your voice to act like you are this year's version of what the 90s would portray a gangster Mexican to be like, Holmes, adios locos forever, and fucking shit. With only one thing bad to say, just fuck Trump, fuck Trump. You got an agenda, bitch. Shut your ass up. Quit embodying the stereotypical fat, plump Mexican woman that y'all are, with no brain, just a bunch of beliefs set forth by men under the guidance of some bullshit saint of the deep week, whatever, that keeps y'all in the house cooking chorizo and sucking it after. Nah, I ain't no real Mexican give a fuck about all that shit. Fucking, they ain't out there grandstanding, so I ain't saying nothing about them. That bitch did go up in the cunt section back when the angry ones and the fat ones. Now she got the voice, the foreign ones too, but she just all lumped up with the fat ones together, all the same. There is no color around that equality. Pile of potluck, hello-y pussy, pitiful persuasion, and passionate only about donuts and fucking doing nothing. Pieces of shit, being heard. I didn't say nothing about, I didn't say nothing about a lot of things. Who I did say something about was the dumb people, the fat people, the angry people, and the faggots. But not really the normal faggots, just the ones that want to put themselves out there, the new age faggots, the millennial faggots or generation, whatever fucking generation that is now. The ones out there trying to make a coin off playing that part and using it to their own advantage. Well, they can get gone like Matthew Shepard got gone. I give a shit. 'Cause they ain't faggots, they just the same. Fat, greedy, evil, angry people. Put them into there. Self-serving, yeah. Righteous indignation, I'd say suck my dick, but y'all take it literally. So go eat a pussy. Pillowy one, fat fuck. Anyhow, that's a disease amongst a world that got enough of them already. So, this is what it bees and what it goes and where it is. How it stands? Well, I couldn't tell you. I'm sitting back chilling, got my boots on, got my Stetson rocking. That's all that really mattered to me. A little sarsaparilla later on tonight. It's too early in the day. This Aquafina sparkling water with a mango kick. I do dig it. That ain't a plug. That's just telling the truth and the raw sheet feel on what I do and how I live. Speaking of that, need to calm down your life. Settle on one rather than the baker's dozen plus some more. Half a six or a 3/4 or something like that. All you need is 12 if you're getting the whole thing because you ain't baking nothing. That's a fact. If you're a baker, what you do so special that you think you're entitled to a couple extra. The fuck is that? I think it's about time to go on and live a little. I'm gonna take this here pair of pants off. Moment, Jenny from the block over makes her way down, puts a knock in on my door. See that girl next door kind of type? Well, I do like that girl next door kind of type. Jenny, she is my kind of type. She don't buy into any of this shit either. She don't use the internet and still like to suck a dick. I'm gonna help her live her life, give her what she likes, and can't say that I don't like to be on the receiving end of something like that. God bless Jenny, down the way. God bless the simpler things and the swell life that it can provide and how good it feels to be living in it. So, there was an evening with Cowboy Peet in the middle of the afternoon. I hope you did enjoy it, didn't get the wrong way about it. And if you did, go shut the fuck up and say it to my face. That's what I fucking dare you, because can't do that. I'll beat the shit at everything that needs to beat the shit out of it too. Right? Cowboy Peet out. That'll do. We'll get it going. About time. Well, if you ain't got the same thing when I come expecting on my do's and propers and drops and pulls, Well then, boy, we got us a match going on. Better know how to draw. I don't use guns, I use fists. Dukes, like John Wayne, but I put them both up, and I don't fight square like they did. I fight like Tito Ortiz did in his prime. I will fuck you up like a Mexican cannibal coming out of Venice Beach. That's a whole nother breed of person, more like dog and animal. So I dare you, and I test you. Mess with my hornito, I pull, see where it takes you. That being said, half and half though, you know. Sometimes I give, sometimes I take. We'll get it going.
Time.
Yesterday, however it was, ain't nearly gonna be as good as tomorrow. Come done tomorrow, well, it's gonna be a day to remember. On to the one you catch me in right now is tough because you gotta move fast if you wanna rope me in, cause this day's blazing on by. If I blink and don't catch myself, the next time we meet gonna be the day that I die. So either get to forgetting about who you knew and everything you thought that I was, cause my eye got the twinkle and the glimmer, and if you wanna be in it, learn to fly and be part of that ember. Fuels what burns, and together we'll light that fire and end out far away from all, or die trying. But either way, whether it was that day or many down the way, you can't ever say you caught me lying. Get it going.
Time.
This something new. This something I ain't done before. And I don't think many have. It's something special. And it ain't what you've been used to. Like I said, something special. Pieces of shit. I mean, don't mind that.
Majeston.
kinda on my side, thankfully, after 35 years of doing it. Keep flipping it back and staying alive my ass. Got far enough off to reflect on a place that I was lucky to see another night and say, fuck me. Was I fading in and then out in a bad dream off the pirate stream it was under Dolce and cheap. On the rest of my gleam that you seen, it looked good and bouncing off my skin. I got you wet. falling out.